What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Matt Stang, founder and CEO of Delic Corp. Nice to have you back, Matt. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. I know we've got some really exciting news today. So can you start by giving us an update regarding what you've been up to at Delic since we last spoke?
Yeah, a lot. And as you said, we had a big news release. We are now the largest chain of psychedelic wellness clinics in America. So I think, really showing what the vision is in execution and how we really take this to a multi tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars business. And we think the path is really there, and we're super excited to buy a profitable long-term business and really grow it with the folks there. And so it's really amazing, and I feel blessed to have this opportunity to build the largest chain of psychedelic wellness clinics in America.
For sure. And it's been a pleasure covering the story. Thanks a lot so far. And I look forward to continuing to support. So you all recently announced the acquisition of ketamine wellness centers. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So Ketamine Wellness Centers, or KWC, they have 10 clinics across the United States. They've been operating for 7.5 years, profitable, and really an incredible team that knows how to build these things and really scale. And I think that's one of the big things that people it's the hardest thing to do, and it's the hardest thing to learn, is how to scale, how to grow from a small single dual clinic thing to a real chain where you have SOPs and standards to really keep growing. And so they have that built. They have an incredible executive team, and they're ready for scale. And so, not only are we buying the 10 that exist now, we know that collectively we can open another 15 using their process, their SOP, and the markets that they've already identified and know have a real opportunity to grow. So, it's just such a incredible moment. And it brings us to what I see as a very real company. We're going to have, almost an $8 million run rate by the end of the year, maybe higher. And, we're looking to get somewhere in that $15-16 million range by middle of next year. So really build something for the long term. And, I think what I've seen in the psychedelic space is people are really shooting for this 5 to 7 years of losing tons of money before they maybe get to something huge or maybe not do anything. And we think there's a different way, and that's building cash flow generating, stable, growing businesses that actually generate revenue for the shareholders. So we're super excited.
Definitely. And that's a nice contrast, because I feel like a lot of investors nowadays, they get so impatient. So you guys are going to have awesome results, hopefully. So what does treatment look like in these facilities?
Yeah, sure. So basically, it is all medical care. So people come in, they are evaluated by a doctor. If they meet the criteria, they can come in for a session. The standard session, there's 6 sessions as a standard package that allows people to get through anxiety, depression, PTSD, just the kind of general malaise that people have been going through with the pandemic. It's gone from, the total addressable market, I think, has increased 500-600%, right? You were talking about 5 to 10% of people needed this. Now it's 25 to 50% of people need this, just because of the trauma that people have been through for the last 18 months. So last year, the highest suicide rate ever by a factor of 4. So there's just this mental health crisis is sweeping at least America, because that's where we're focused on operating, but the rest of the world too. And there's just no real good answer to how to help people with mental health disorders other than psychedelic wellness. And ketamine is the only legal psychedelic. So right now you can come in and you can get a ketamine treatment for your anxiety, for your treatment-resistant depression, for your chronic pain. And these things have efficacy rates in the 65 to 85% ratio, where current pharmaceutical drugs for anxiety, depression, PTSD are in the 5 to 8%, 5 to 10% range of efficacy. So you're talking orders of magnitude better and you don't have to do it every day. You do it as a pack of treatments, and you reset your brain, and now you come back, not stuck in these, not spinning in these kind of channels and depressive or anxious kind of things. And it's becoming more prevalent. You look at Simone Biles dropped out of the Olympics for anxiety. You had Osaka who dropped out of U.S. Open for anxiety. It's some of the highest level athletes who play at the highest level of competition. They deal with it excessively, but that's just a small percentage. There's people who are just trying to go to work, or trying to deal with their children, or trying to deal with their whatever the situation, their wife, all of these things bring up these crazy mental health issues, and there's no real good way to help it. And that's where we think we found something that's really amazing with ketamine. And then we're building an infrastructure that allows people access to novel psychedelic molecules as the FDA approves them. So, you have psilocybin and MDMA in phase 3 clinical trials with breakthrough status from the FDA, and they're about to be submitted for approval. Now that takes time, obviously, but the numbers are staggering. Like I said, it's 80% plus efficacy rates after a year. So I see no place where these are not both approved in the next year and a half. And so we'll have a giant footprint of places where people can go to get access to them. And I think that's just so important.
Definitely, it's going to be an exciting time. So how is preparation coming for Meet Delic, the premier psychedelic and wellness edutainment event and expo for newcomers?
It's going really incredibly. We're super excited. We expect thousands of people, November 6th and 7th. We're announcing our headlining acts for the nighttime. There's going to be a party and a ton of fun. Immersive experiences. A couple of local politicians are going to come and talk about the importance of psychedelics to the Las Vegas economy. I think the mainstream acceptance is just growing by leaps and bounds. We have another fantastic keynote that's being added next week that'll really, I think, make people super happy. And we already have 85 people. We have tracks about business and culture and health and wellness and the whole raft of what's happening in psychedelics today. And I think, for us, we're building what we think is a really great ecosystem that functions as a flywheel. So if you're interested in psychedelics, you can read about it along with the other 500,000 or 600,000 people a month on our website. And if you really want to go deep, you can go with the 5,000 or 10,000 people to Meet Delic. And then if you really want to try the products, you can go to one of our 13 clinics across the country and actually try ketamine and get a psychedelic wellness experience. And I think that creates a whole lot of internal cohesion amongst the assets and brings people from one to the next in a really smart customer journey. And so that's been our focus. And I talked about it 9 months ago when we went public, and I think we've really executed on that by doing these deals and bringing these companies in. And then we have Delic Labs, which has the ability to create novel IP and products around psychedelics and psilocybin specifically. And I think all of those things kind of feed into one another and help make us the leader in the space.
Exciting. So what's next for Delic Labs? Can you give us an update on that side of the business?
Sure. Well, I guess I should probably get back on when we put out these press releases on the really cool stuff they're doing. I don't think I can say it until I put it out publicly, but there is some really amazing science being done by these PhDs, and it's been blowing my mind just seeing it. So, give us a week or two, and we'll probably be back to talk about some of the amazing stuff they're doing there.
Oh, that'd be great. So, and you definitely will. So are there any catalysts on the horizon for the psychedelic sector that you feel investors should focus on?
Well, I think there's a bunch of different stuff. So there's California is looking to decriminalize psychedelics and sharing. Oregon is going to put in place their control board to allow for psilocybin. I've talked to folks in 3 other states that are looking at creating some form of similar thing to Oregon. So I know that stuff's coming up in 2022. FDA and its approval for MDMA and psilocybin is coming up in 2022. And then, I think ketamine's here already and has a huge ability to help and change. So I think you just look at what we're doing and how we're expanding and how it just gives people access to psychedelic wellness right now. And then, just look at Meet Delic and you can see history in the making with those 85 or 90 speakers talking about all the intersectionality between business and culture and medicine. And we expect to make some great news at that event.
Definitely. So where's the best place for investors to find out more information about the company?
Sure. So deliccorp.com is a great place to look at it. That's deliccorp.com, and you can see, kind of all of the pieces that make up this fantastic ecosystem. If you want to come to Meet Delic, you can come to meetdelic.com and see more about the event. If you want to check out what's going on in the world of psychedelics, you can come to realitysandwich.com. And if you want to come and try a treatment, you can go to KWC or KIC.com for our 2 clinics.
Wonderful, Matt. Well, thank you so much for all the updates, and I look forward to having you back soon for more.
Thank you so much.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.